online here, I got Kent Smith, who has a powwow that him and some friends of his puts on, and they have yearly or bi-yearly they have this event. They have great speakers come to this thing, and they put on it's a nice little shindig. They feed you, and it's up in the mountains. So anyways, Kent, I just want you to tell a little bit about your powwows, how it is, and just tell me a little bit about it.
All right, this is we call it the Morgan Pow Wow. It's in Morgan County, Utah. We've been this will be our 18th year. We missed 2 years, one because of weather and one because of poor health. So we've done 16 years where we've had powwows, and we've been doing between 1 and 3 powwows per year. Started out, I was a building official for Morgan County, and one of the contractors built himself a home in the county. We got to be pretty good friends, and he knew that I was into a lot of things to do with Spanish and early Utah history and all kinds of other things, giants and those kinds of things, and he kind of was too. So he had a friend that he wanted me to get hooked up with to talk to about some Spanish stuff. And so one day he called me up and said his friend was going to be up in Morgan and wondered if I could come up after work and meet this guy. He'd been trying to get us both together for like a couple of years, and I told him I could. So I went up to his house, and he'd invited I think there were 6 of us there for the first powwow, and we had cookies and punch. And his friend came up to talk to me. Our first sit-down discussion was his friend had been one of the few people that ever got inside the caves up in Rock Creek, the Gold Hill, where the Spanish had all the gold bars and gold and silver coins. And there was 2 people to start with, and then after they were done with their lengthy story, then George Thompson inherited all their paper and research and everything, and he gave it to this guy I was meeting with. And so he and another guy had spent a couple of years and had actually gone inside and seen everything. And so we got together and spent the night talking about it and other things. And so that was our first one 18 years ago, and it's gone from 6 people and Kool-Aid and punch. It started to grow pretty fast. We started doing one every year, and we've had topics, everything from homemade metal detectors, gold detectors, and that work much better than anything you can buy in the stores. We've had several on Bigfoot, all firsthand experiences. Some of them were government employees doing their government job, telling us about their run-ins with Bigfoot. We also had government employees talking about their coming up upon UFOs landed on the ground, being close enough to touch them, those kinds of things. We've had people come up who have done a lot of research, and different people that are related to Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid and other outlaws. We've done 18 years worth of just whatever topic we think are interesting to people. We've started feeding everybody. We've done that for most of 18 years. We go up in a private campground, very nice campground, beautiful private campground, and we typically have between 100 to 200 people. We have people. We're a nonprofit. We don't charge more than what it costs us to run the thing.
So I know that I've been to several of them, Kent, and one, it was great atmosphere. It's up in the canyon, a lot of great people, a lot of information there at these, because everybody there is an adventurer, a historian, an explorer, and has some kind of a story to tell. But you put on a great feast, great food, and then you have these great stories afterwards, and man, I was really impressed with them, and I know you got another one coming up, and so that's why I wanted kind of do a little highlight of you in these, in case there's some people that are living in the area and like to go see it. Because, well, tell about your speaker and that for this one, because it's a great friend of mine and a great subject that I love that's going to be talked about.
All right, our next one coming up is June the 2nd. It's a Saturday. We're starting an hour later than normal because we need to do video presentation outdoors and it doesn't get dark. So we're going to start dinner at 6 o'clock, and that'll be the first thing, and then people will get a chance to visit and talk with one another. We're going to have open mic, and so people will be able to have their 15 minutes of fame on an open mic and tell some kind of interesting story about Bigfoot or bank robberies or finding treasure or whatever. When it gets dark enough to do the video presentation, our key speaker is going to be Utahna Jessop, and she's going to be doing a presentation on the Brewers Cave, and more specifically, she'll be doing on there was two giant skeletons or mummies found in Brewers Cave, and she'll be talking specifically on those. A lot of new information. There have been some books written and so forth, but she'll be doing presenting a lot of new information and video on it.
So with that said, though, too, that she has done a video. I interviewed her, put up one of her videos of telling us, but since then she has run across a lot of new information that people don't know about. So it'll be exciting to hear that. So.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. I haven't seen her presentation, but and I don't want to take the wind out of her sails. I may, if she's okay with it, I may be also doing a presentation. I know about another very similar find here in Utah that almost nobody knows about, and quite a bit of information on it. And so I may add to her presentation another find in Utah with very similar situation with giants and those kinds of things. There are other giants in Utah, but these are really fascinating because of the other items found with the skeletons and so forth. But that's going to be basically our presentation. Even sitting and visiting after dinner, you meet some really interesting people. We have a couple that comes up that I've known for over 30 years, and she was the secretary for the Air Force. Well, maybe I shouldn't put this out on YouTube, but anyway, she was secretary for a group in the Air Force that received all the information for the Air Force on UFOs, and she did that until retirement, I believe, in that. But anyway, she can't talk much about it because it's still top secret. But there's all kinds of people there. UFO Dave that has quite a presentation he does for years nationally on TV and radio. He comes to a number of them. He may be at this one. We get all kinds of interesting people up there that you can meet and get to know and talk to a little bit besides the presentation itself. But Utahna's presentation, I'm real excited to hear. So I chase around and do some research on giants myself, and this should be really good.
Yep, she puts on a great presentation, and besides that, going to be real good. The food that you guys put out is really good. What are you going to have this time?
Well, this time last year we really went all out, and we bought a pig on the hoof and had it butchered and pulled and did special spices and all kinds of things. It took about 3 weeks of time for a person to get the meat prepared and everything. This year we toned it way down from that. We're going to have hamburgers, but it should be pretty good. We do a potluck. Everybody brings something. They have to get an assignment of food to bring, which is real simple: 2 liters of soda or a bag of chips or something. And then we typically ask for a $7 donation. And by the time we put the whole thing on, that defrays out to the point, like I say, it's nonprofit. We typically, and this year won't be any different. Mark and I pay out of pocket and then get reimbursed after everybody comes and that, because we don't have enough money in the kitty to from the previous one to pay for the whole thing. So, but
so if
but
somebody
that's
so somebody, I know that you're limited. That you can't just have everybody show up. I mean, because you only have so much space, and so for people to register to come to this, they need to get a hold of you, and how do people get a hold of you and reserve their spots so that they can come to this?
okay. This is an RSVP, and we don't like to get 200 or more, which we have had. We've turned away TV and we've turned away radio and also newspapers that want to come up to it simply because we don't want that much advertising. But if people are interested in the type of things that we talk about and the presentation and interested in hearing what we have and seeing whether they want to come to our yearly presentations, they do need to get hold of us and get on my email list. Obviously, with the June 2nd date, it's not far away, so they would need to, for this year, they would need to get on that right away quick. We do other presentations also. We're doing we've got another one that's a world-class bluegrass band that we've hired, and then we're doing just a steak fry. There is no speaker. It's just people sitting around visiting that. And we have other things that we put on too, but I do need for any of these, I need to have people approved and put on email lists. Mark Robinson is my partner on this, and I'll give you both of our emails. You would need to get hold of us right away if you're interested, and let us know. Mark's email is capital RASEZ3, the number 3, at hotmail.com. That's capital RASEZ3 at hotmail.com. My name's Kent Smith, and my email is thedadsmith at gmail.com. That's THEDADSMITH at gmail.com.
So even if they can't come to this one, if they get a hold of you and get on your email list, you'll email them when you have other ones so that they can decide if they want to go to your other ones or not, huh?
That's correct. We have people that have been on there for a number of years that have never been to one, but we usually thin out our list once in a while. So every few years we take people off if they don't come unless they ask us specifically to be on our list. So, and every year I put out and ask people if they want their name removed from our list also. So, but if they're interested in our topics, can't come to this one because of conflicts or whatever, but want to be on the list, they need to get hold of me and get on our email list.
Awesome, Kent, man. I think that's a wrap, unless you got anything else you're going to need to say.
No, that sounds good for this one.
Hey.
If you stay on the line just a second, I'll talk to you, though.
All righty. Hold on here.